Hello beautiful people, today I'm going to be setting up shrimp racks on that lot up there. So here we have it, it's a nice little corner, can easily get into it, everything's in the shot at the same time. Before I do anything, we're going to need to lay down a little bit of a substrate system in the bottom here, something that's going to harbour beneficial bacteria but also provide nutrients for any plants we put in, because what is a tank without plants? For me anyway, because I just love having loads of plants. It just helps with maintenance and sorts the water quality out, everything perfect for the shrimp then. But first things first though, over to the shop to get the substrate. Got the Nutri-Base, and here is a massive bag of like gravelly stuff. So yeah, we've got the Nutri-Base first, which is basically porous bits of stone and dirt and everything all put into one, so it's like a good sub base. And then on top of that I've got this like gravelly stuff, which is what I've used before. I've used it over there in the Better Fish tank, and it's working so well as a layer that I want to use it again. So yeah, first of all we want that Nutri-Base in the bottom. Don't need a huge amount. I'm going to go for 2 scoops for each cube. That's sweet, just spread it about a little bit, make it a bit more even. And then on top of that is where we can put our decorative sand, so you won't really see much of this, probably see a little bit at the front, but that's okay. A little bit dusty at the moment, but that's fine. Once the water's in there, it will sort of lock it down. Just sort of flattening it out. It doesn't have to be perfect. These aren't aquascapes. These are just going to be places for shrimp to be held and the odd nano fish when I need to as well. Now, I absolutely love this gravel. I just think it looks so natural. Now that's great, and I can literally fill the whole thing out. I don't know why literally, but I can just fill it up with water from my water butt here. So this is full of water from the tap, like 2 days ago, so it's had time to completely like go the same temperature as the room. I heat the room, remember, not in each individual tank, because that will cost a fortune. So yeah, there's currently a pump in there that goes down to the reel. Can you see the reel? Yeah, the reel on the floor, and I can just take that round and fill them up. So whilst that's all filling up, I might as well just give you a quick update of everything that's going on. We've got a new scape in the studio, a different one, looking so good. If you haven't seen the build video, you need to see this. Yeah, I mean, come and take a look at that. It looks so good, doesn't it? Completely different, absolutely completely different to everything else that we're seeing. And that was the idea when I did it, just a standout piece on its own, just showing that you can do different things other than the standard. Oh look, we've got a Cory down here. Starting to get a little bit brave, nice one. They have been hiding quite far at the back. And my female better, she's still a little bit shy, but she'll come out a little bit more soon. Once they get used to who feeds them, they all come straight to the front whenever they see you. She's completely comfortable now, to be honest. She's just exploring, having a look around. All the other fish are proper chill. Yeah, things are good in this tank. So the original idea with this tank was that it looked a little bit like a concept I'd done over the other side of the studio, which was the other red forest tank, the smaller one. But it doesn't, even though it's just red plants like that side, well that side's got green as well actually, so that does skew it a little bit. Anyway, I feel like this looks so much more different to anything else I've ever created. So here is that other tank that I'm talking about. I think because it's got a black background, it's no filter as well, and the green there in the foreground, it kind of changes it all a little bit. The plants have all grown as well at the back, haven't they? They're already hitting the surface. There's Amanos going to town there as well. They look great, don't they? So I think because we can't see the background, it's all grown in so well, it does look very forestry. Do you know what I mean? That's what I feel like. It's really mature, this tank. And I guess because this is only a few days old, it's still got that sort of real fresh look to it. Any fresh look in a tank, I always think, makes it look kind of contemporary. Completely different style to a tank that's been growing in for a few months. I mean, even if you kept trimming the plants, it would still look so different after a month to what it does now. So it's also currently first thing in the morning, and the rainbows, the colours on the rainbows, they're just popping off at the moment. Yeah, take a look at these guys. Look, that one there. So vibrant. They both are. The blue, I don't actually know which one this is, so can some of you help me ID? They're so similar, a lot of them, that I've forgotten what Matt said when I first got them. I mean, obviously we know the dwarf neons, and I also know the Parkinsons here. turquoise, of course, as well, and the Bosemani, I mean the showstopper. That there is a sunburst, but I've actually just got like a really cool collection now, but I'm terrible. I need to learn them or research it, re-research it, or go back to the videos where I added them. I think that's probably the best idea. So the thing is with rainbow fish is there's so many varieties. They're like their own thing on their own, a bit like tetra. There's so many different types of tetra, and there's so many different types of rainbow fish, but I love all of them for their colors. Look at this. I mean, they suit the scape so well, I think. The brown of the wood coming through really does sort of make their colors pop even more. Yeah, I'm super pleased with how this tank has turned out. Oh, it's better than I imagined it would be. Anyway, our tanks are now filled up and we can start putting some plants in. So yeah, I thought I was ready to start planting. To be honest, I don't think I've got enough substrate in there. It would be enough to just dump some plants in and just leave it at that, but I actually want it to be, each one to be its own individual little ecosystem. I feel like we need a little bit of a deeper base to it. We'll plant a little bit deeper then, and it just means we can create that proper environment. You need the deep bed to get a proper ecosystem going. Now, I don't know why I didn't just do this in the first place. But anyway, you live and learn. It's going to be necessary just to drain out all of the water so that I can pull back this layer and I can put some aquatic compost underneath, mix it with a little bit of aqua soil and sand that I've got, some old stuff. And you know what, part of me is like, they've got water in now, just leave them. I know I can't do that though, because I'll be just sat over there by the desk or walking in this area and think, I should have done that properly. It'll still work this way, but it won't work as well as if we put more nutrients and make a thicker substrate. So I'm gonna do it because otherwise I'm just gonna end up doing it later on when I've like put more effort in at this stage and then tear it all down again anyway. So let's just do it properly right now. Let's just get all that water out. Okay, I've spared you the hassle of watching me drain out a load of tanks. I was gonna peel this layer back and put like aquatic compost underneath. But I'm not going to do that now. I'm just going to put it on top and then cap that with like even more sand and things just to keep it all locked down. I'll sort of mix it all in together in this layer though and then cap that. That is all nutrients in now. We've got tons going on there. We had that aquatic pond soil. We've also got a load of aqua soil, a bit of sand, a bit of gravel as well. It's time to cap the whole lot off though. So because we used recycled sand to top up the tanks, they went quite a bit murky when I filled them up, and I'm just using a filter internally just to sort of polish the water, and then I'm using a surface skimmer as well just to take off a load of scum from the top that's been developed. So one of my problems is that I struggle to throw anything away. I've got so many bags of like used sand and gravel just dotted about. Well, I keep them in one place now, but there's so many of them. I feel like it's been through a cycle, it's been like added nutrients to it, beneficial bacteria through it, and I just feel like if I start an aquarium with recycled substrate, it's going to be off to a better, less sterile maybe start, if you like. I don't know, I feel like I get a good start by recycling stuff. So like take this one for instance, there's all the sort of bits of aqua soil, old bits of roots, and you know there's going to be some detritus all down in this like thick area down here as well. So yeah, hopefully it means we get, combined with the fertilizer we've added, it should mean that we get really good plant growth straight away. So it is now the next day and the tanks are pretty clean. I don't know why I've spent so much time clearing them, because we're going to put plants in them and hardscape now, so they're gonna get dirty anyway. Yeah, next up we want some little hardscapes to go in the tank, and I've got tons to choose from obviously. I don't want to go too crazy with it. We need lots of plants, remember it's an ecosystem, so just something for a little bit of focal point, just like a little focal point is what I'm trying to say. And I'm sure you guys have noticed, sometimes I struggle with the English language, even though it is my first language. I do a lot of this stuff off the cuff, see, so I just like talk and whatever comes out is whatever comes out, so hopefully it's good enough. Right, so I've got a cube that's the same size as all of those cubes, and then that means I can pick out whatever bits of hardscape I want. I can set them up inside the tank, see if they fit, glue them together, and then just place them straight into the aquariums which are all the way back there. Yeah, so I'm literally thinking like one piece of wood and one rock stuck to it in each scape. They're only small and they're not supposed to be fully sort of like nature style aquarium scaped ones. I just wanted to be something interesting in the middle, or something for the shrimp to actually like climb up, pick at. Wood is good in a shrimp tank. They love like grazing on the wood. And then rocks, obviously great for like locking it down and keeping the shape. Okay, there we go. We've got 4 nice pieces there, all a little bit different, different woods types. Actually, those 3 are the same, but that's a little different. And we've got a bit of dragonstone, we've got a cobble, and then we've got some of this layered rock, I think it's called as well. So yeah, all a little bit different. The way I glued them together was a little bit of tissue paper, and you just sort of ram it in gaps. Yeah, ram it in gaps like that. And then I just poured a load of super glue over the top, cyanoacrylate super glue. And then this is an activator, which makes it all sort of just fizz and just go rock solid instantly, which is why I can now just pick it up like this with no worry at all of anything falling apart, except for that little bit that just come off. Now, if you take a look over here, I've got an absolute ton of epiphyte plants. So we've got like a Nubius in here, we've got some Java ferns and that as well. So I'm gonna pick some of these out and stick those to that wood, and then that'll just like be set, ready to go straight away. So we've got some nice Anubias here, different types. We've got Nana Barteri, is it? We've got Petite, we've got some Bucephalandra there. A little bit of Hydroculture Japan. There's some bad leaves that I've just picked off of this lot. This is Java Fern Windelov, and look, this one's still got some bad ones, but look, they're so easy just to grab out. It's always worth going through your Java ferns, because you will get some leaves that die off. It's just how it works, really. It's how the plant wants to propagate, because when its leaves die off of this dead one here, you quite often find little babies growing. Not in this case for some reason, I don't know why, but there we go. Bad ones, good ones. I'm going to split this in 2 as well. And then we've got 4 pieces in total for the 4 pieces of rock. And then the same as before, we can just glue it onto these stones. I find if you make them a little bit wet first, the glue sticks much better. It's almost like the water makes it react. But I'm just going to use the little areas that are on show from where we used the tissue paper that you can see, and I'm just going to take it and stick it into that area. There we go, we've got 4 pieces. All of them just look really good, I think. I like to leave all the roots and things that come off of the Anubias. I just think they add another level of detail and it looks really good. So we can place them in now. Don't know which one's going in which, but we can work that out next. Right, I feel like this piece is just asking to be put there. Something like that. Love it. And then I think we want this bigger piece on this side. If I can get it under. There we go. Oh, but the Anubias has come off, my bad. Push it in a little bit, actually no, a bit further back than that. Actually trying to float. That's all right, stay put though. We can leave that for a few days and it'll be sunk down by then. We've then got this one, can go in here. Again, it is trying to float up a little bit, but we will not let it. Actually, I'll put them all to one side so I can put this one, I don't know, I want to see the rock, so if I put it like that. And then we've got this one over here. And I've now got water everywhere, so I should probably clean that up. Now, obviously, we're not just going to... This one looks a lot darker at the moment. That's because it's a little bit more misty, and it is a little bit darker over in that corner, but not to worry. I think once all the sort of plants are in there, they're catching the light, it'll work fine. But yeah, there's going to be a lot more plants than what we've got here. This is just the start. Oh, and I've got a lot of moss in with these tanks here, with the goldies, and over here in with the endlers. But the thing is, the tank is so small that I don't want to put any moss in it. If I added moss to these structures, it just grows so fast, it's so hard to get into and fiddly, that I think it's best just to leave it. And then, you know, if there will definitely be pieces of moss that have migrated in on these pieces of Java Fern and Anubias. So we will be seeing moss in this scape. It gets everywhere for sure. All these epiphyte plants are from other tanks that I've had before when I broke down the other studio. So there's going to be bits of mosses in there. I did actually see some in some of the roots as well. So I think I'll just leave that as it is, and if it wants to go moss crazy, it can. But yeah, I'm going to steal some of these Ludwigias down there. Also, that Limnophilia at the back there is looking fantastic. There is absolutely tons of plants I can take from this setup as well. There's a few in the rainbow fish tank that we can trim up, like the green Rotala we've got there, and some of this Ludwigia palustria super red, it's getting quite high, which looks good, but if you trim it back, you get even bushier, dense growth. There is more reds in the red tank as well. Also, some of the Monte Carlo is like lifting up, so it might be a good idea just to trim a little bit of it off and plant it. The reds in the red tank are currently just sort of growing in, so they'll be completely left alone, just settled. They need a good month before you want to start trimming and things like that in a new setup, I find. But we have got some really good plants down here in with the shrimp that can be used, some Ludwigias, more of the Limnophila, some Bacoba there as well. There is some hair grass at the back and a crypt, which might be interesting. I've got a load of Liliopsis in here. We've got some other different plants. There's loads of Busies, Pogostum and Halfari, is it? Liliopsis, Novae Z Liliopsis. I'm just going to leave it at that. And we've got a load of Hydrocotyle verticulata. And this is Ludwigia palustris green, so it's like the super red, but it's not red, it's the green variety, which is, you know, good. I'll put that in, I reckon, as well. Well, it turns out I really didn't need this spare tank, did I? So that is all of our sculptures, I guess, in. Now I need to do all water changes again because I've just messed everything up. But we need a decorative gravel on top of the sand, and with that it'll keep all the crud down when we put new water in. Every time I put in new water at the moment, it's just disturbing all that light sand. So I want a gravel to go on top. It should lock it down. It'll make water changes, if they're needed later on, easier as well. And to be honest, it will look better. So we've got a good few options here, to be honest. This is quite a nice little sort of differently graded gravel. And then this one's got more coarser and darker pieces in. And then up here, I've got just a pure sort of lava rock. A bit boring though. I'm not sure about that one. Maybe mix that one. Nah, they're too similar. I don't know, maybe I'll mix that with some like rock or something. But that said, I do think it's a good idea just to do them a little bit differently. It's just a bit more interesting, isn't it? So I'm thinking we can put the darker stones in the brightest tanks. So that's what I've got here. I'm literally just gonna place it in and drop it. Oh, it already looks good. Loving that. Yeah, so I've completely dirtied that water. Doesn't matter, we'll be able to change it in a minute. And then this one here I'm gonna do with the lava rock, the black lava rock. Oh dear, not to worry, it will be sorted. And then this side's going to be the lighter stones. Okay, we're working. Not too dissimilar, those two, but a little bit different. Might be able to add something else to it later on to make it completely different to that one. But I've still got this, look at the state of that one. I've still got this final one here. Part of me was thinking just leave it, but then no, because it's going to make it a pain later on. So I need something to go down. I'll find something. Oh my goodness, I've just realised something. Look at this. The volcanic sort of lava rock was full of dusty stuff. That's going to be a right pain to get out. Not to worry, we will get it sorted, but I found something for this one. I've got like a really nice coloured, oh, we can't see. Hang on. There we go. Different coloured sand there. It's quite fine, but I've also got some rocks, some stones here to go with it. This is Rio Shingu, so that should look good. Now I know a lot of you guys are going to be thinking, why didn't you just wash all the gravels first? Because that is not something I've ever done. It's never normally a problem, you see, because I lay it in, then fill up the water really gently. But that's not the case this time, so clear all the water out, fill it back up again. Right, we're all filled up, they're looking so clear now. All that's left to do is go get our plants and just plug them all in. I'm just going to do it quite sort of randomly and hopefully it looks good. But I will of course be doing like shorter plants in the foreground and then longer stuff at the back. Just makes sense, doesn't it? So there's some cute little foreground plants in each one, just a little bit, mainly because that's all I've really got left. Foreground plants are quite difficult because they don't sort of, you can't just trim them and replant them, so you have to sort of start them fresh. If you pull them up out of a tank, they kind of go a bit funny, but yeah, I've also got more now to go in. So on the table here, these were in one of my shrimp tanks, so basically all trimmings from, except for this isn't a trimming. Oh, there's a shrimp there, look. Hello, little guy, I'll put you back in a second. Yeah, we've got some dwarf hairgrass, and then we've got some Ludwigias, Bacopa, Limnophila, so it's going to be looking really good. So it is now the next day. The tanks are really, really clear. All the plants are standing upright, so that's really good. Now I want to go and get the shrimp. I want a different type, breed, colour. They're all the same, really. They're just slightly different colour variants. So in each tank, I want a completely different colour. I called Matt yesterday and he said there's loads in stock, so that'd be cool just to pick out the ones we want. And ideally, we get them all breeding in there, and then I talk them about the studio and all the different tanks, and yeah, just carry it on sort of thing. Anyway, enough of that, let's go get them. Connected.
Got to get yourself connected. That's an old advert.
You know why I'm here? Have you forgotten why I'm here? I spoke to you yesterday.
Black Mollies.
No.
Oh, no, not Black Mollies.
Shh.
Yeah.
He slept, yeah.
Hang on, Martin, you're not on mic. What was that?
He slept since then.
That's better.
Talking at his chest. I'm here for the shrimp tanks I've set up.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, we did talk about that. I can't remember. We talk about a lot of things.
The thing is, I did get some from Martin a while ago, but now they're in another tank and I like them in there, so now I need more.
Now you need more shrimp.
For these ones. Yeah.
All right, let's get shrimp.
Oh, Jamie's just cleaning all of the tanks, but fortunately, not our ones yet.
Yeah, not yet, not yet.
Please can I have, I just want like one colour of each that stands out.
Okay, cool.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we've got like, the oranges are good.
Yeah, the oranges are good. We've got some orange lilies up in the top.
Sweet.
They're cool.
How many blues?
So there's blue, there's snowballs, there's snowballs and blue jellies up here. So you can see the blues. I don't think there's many blues left, but there are a few snowballs left. So they're quite cool.
Snowball.
A little bit different. Reds and then sun-kissed in there.
Okay.
And then more reds.
Proper reds.
Yeah, proper reds down there. So yeah, I think we've got a few different colours. And there's some darker ones as well. We've got the like blue sapphires.
Nah, you never see them. What's the point?
They're nice though, look at them.
Yeah, they're nice on a white substrate with nothing in the tank.
Have you not got green plants?
That's true. Just look like
dark blue does stand out quite well against green.
Just looks like dirt, doesn't it? I'm going to upset the dark blue community.
Yeah, you are going to upset the people that like blue sapphire.
Excuse me, you're not supposed to be in there.
That's a neon.
What's he doing? Oh, he's hopped.
Yeah, he's hopped across.
He's hopped. He's like, yes, dinner. Okay. Oh, there's something on the top. Are they greens?
Yeah, they're greens. So there's green. I think they came in as green Hulk.
But not.
But yeah, they're a little bit of a weird green colour.
Okay, do you know what? I think the Rillies, have we got 10 there?
We should have 10 up there. Yeah, there's loads underneath as well.
Rillies, oranges, sun-kissed. Are they different to the oranges?
There's a gold line, yeah. So I've got a feeling actually those next door might be sun-kissed and these might be the gold line because they've got that. Some of them have got that gold stripe down their back.
Well, I like that. Okay,
yeah.
We'll go for that, and then a red, obviously, as well, please.
Nice.
So we're back with the shrimp. What a beautiful sunny day coming in. Look at this down here. Look at these rainbows. It's all obviously coming in from the Rainbow Fish Aquarium as well. Look, you can see that light refracting through there. It's so cool. Loving that. Anyway, yeah, so I've got a bag full of shrimp here, and I've got another bag here with something heavy in. So basically, I don't know how well this is coming out because the sun is so bright, but I needed scatter gravel. So I've got lots of different types here for future setups because we've got loads of setups coming, obviously. We can't see anything, but this empty one here is going to be great. There's so many more to do as well. But anyway, the first thing I need to do is put the shrimp into the water there just to get them used to the same temperature. and then I can put them in. Now you're probably thinking, what do you mean you can put them in? You've only just set the tank up. Well, I'm going to be adding some beneficial bacteria to the mix, to the water that is. I don't know why I said the mix. But also remember, I've got 10 shrimp going in that volume of water, which is about 30 something litres, I don't know. Anyway, the bioload of 10 shrimp is next to nothing. I will test the water every day to make sure there's no spikes in anything, but we're going to be all good. Right, so there are all our shrimp, they're temperature acclimating. This tank here has got a second bag, and I've got a load of baby bristlenose plecos as well. But we went for the orange lilies, we've gone with some blue dreams. This one's like sun kiss or something like that, oranges we'll call them. And then we've got your standard cherries in this one over here. And then there's 4 baby bristlenose, albino bristlenose plecos. Oh my goodness, and there's a bit of a swipe Matt's taken and just said he just got a bit of everything. I can see a crystal in there, so that can go in with my crystal tank as well. We'll give them 20 minutes or so and then I can put them in. Right, it's time to get this show on the road. I fully trust Matt's water. I know the procedures those guys go through. So I'm completely happy just to cut the tops off the bags and then release the shrimp straight into the water. Now, if I had some long-term like fish or shrimp in here, I probably wouldn't do this, but because these are the first things going in, there we go. The blue dreams at home straight away. Awesome, I'd love to see some breeding out of these guys. I have bred blue dreams before with success, but hopefully I could do it again on a much larger scale because I didn't get that many, but I'd like to get thousands of them, please. Okay, next up is the orange release. In you go, my little fellas. Oh, there's a couple of really teeny tiny babies as well. It's all good, it's all good. I don't mind. Well, there's loads of them. I'll take out the bristlenose for a second and place them in individually. Then this is the sun-kissed orange and a couple of others in there as well. Yeah, there's some cherries in with these guys, but I'll move them across to make sure that we've only basically got one. Oh, and there's a super red bristlenose as well. Yeah, look at that. Super red bristlenose. It's the first time I've ever had one, actually. I've had like proper nice yellow ones with blue eyes. I've had the standards. I mean, I really like the standards, but that's the first time I've had a super red. Oh, sorry, the shrimp. There we go. You've got to come out. You are not supposed to be in there. And then of course, it's just the standards. Nothing wrong with that. I do like a good standard. Some of them have molted inside the bag. We'll let that go in, it's all good calcium. They'll eat that. Right, a quick note then, just because I know some of you might be wondering, why did I not drip acclimate the shrimp before I put them in? Well, the water at the shop is very similar to my tap water here, and also Neocaridinas I find are quite forgiving with water parameters. I always do it this way. I never get any problems with Neocaridinas or Amano shrimp. If it was going to be Caridinas like crystal reds, I wouldn't do it. I would drip acclimate, you know, because they're a lot more sensitive. But I find with my water, there's no real need to. It might be different for you. When you get your shrimp, you might have imported them, you might have, you know, bought them online, whatever. So you might need to do that. But for me, absolutely fine just to put them straight in. I never get any problems. Don't just assume that's the same for you though, because like I say, your water might be completely different elsewhere. I find for myself though, as long as I've got the temperature matching, we're all good. So there we go then. Our shrimp tanks are now set up. They look so good. And they're only going to get better as everything grows in a bit more, colours up a little bit. Some of these plants were in a low light tank, so the reds on the Palustrius and the Ludwigias, they look a little bit dull because they've not had as high lighting as this, so they should go really, really nice, like a bit bigger and a bit redder. The greens will just take off. Hopefully, we'll get full carpeting in the foreground as well. I've got the feeling the shrimp will do very well in this volcano mineral because well, they like minerals, don't they, at the end of the day? This guy's not moved at all. We know you're there. Okay, hello, you're the one that shouldn't be in there. So there we have it guys, a fully successful set of 4 ecosystem tanks with 4 different shrimp in each one and a couple of others mixed in as well I've got to pick out. And as always, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, do me a favor, like and subscribe so that then you get updated on the next ones. We've got loads of builds coming, so you need to be doing that. And I'll see you on the next one.